I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Valentine's weekend.
Hubba, hubba, hubba.
Be loving.
He's a little tense.
Be thoughtful.
No. Allow me.
Be compassionate.
Hey, man, that's just mean.
Because love is in the air.
Stop it, I'm getting misty.
Mel Gibson. Payback. Rated R. Now playing in theaters everywhere.
Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another review. This is another review for Trevin, a Patreon review. Thank you so much for that. Thank you to everyone who has joined me either on my Patreon or certain requests based on certain tiers, or you did request anything directly via my PayPal. Doesn't just have to be a review or a re-review. It could be a topic or whatever type of video you would like. But if you're interested, the Patreon and PayPal links are down below. If not, no worries. But the review he wanted me to do was for Payback from 1999 starring Mel Gibson. I thought I reviewed this, but I don't know what happened to it. Because I remember talking about there's two cuts of the film. Because they made a cut of the movie, and then either the studio or they were a bit iffy on it, because the original version of Payback was much more of a straightforward, bit darker, not as much fun of a flick, with an ending that was a bit more ambiguous, and studios didn't like that, so they shot, I want to say they reshot about 30%. They changed the ending, they added quite a few scenes, including, like, Chris Christopherson is not in the original cut of this film, which is available to watch. It got released on DVD. I know a lot of people say that's the better version. I still like this version more. Maybe because I like that it's fun. I like I liked having Chris Christopherson in there because I like the actor. I like the ending. Personal preference. I prefer this ending clean cut than the ambiguous ending. I know people didn't care for the fact that they tried to make Mel Gibson's character more likable because they go, well, that's not the point. In my preference, I like that Mel Gibson's character was a little bit more likable in this version. I'm sorry, I do. And it did have sort of a fun vibe to it. Now, I'm not sure about the filters because they made it look a bit blue. I think Mel Gibson one time said that he wanted this film to be in black and white, but they didn't want to release a black and white film. They didn't want to do a black and white film. So it seemed okay. We don't have this bleached tint to it. I'm not 100% sure on that. I mean, it didn't bother me a tremendous amount, but it did give me pause of, maybe nice if this version didn't have the tint. I don't know. I mean, it didn't bother me. Maybe I got more used to it as it went on. But the plot of the film, Mel Gibson's character did this job, got fucked over by his old flame, his old girlfriend, as well as his buddy. His buddy is played by Gregg Henry, who I remember he played a fun character in the film Slither. He was in one of the stars of the slasher film Just Before Dawn. He does a good job in this. So after he's been shot, he heals up and he goes back to get his cut of the money, which is $70,000. And throughout the film, no one's believing that he would do this for just $70,000, but they're fucking wrong. And no, it's not an action-packed movie. I looked at it as more of a, I don't want to say character study, but just a teeny bit tongue-in-cheek, fun trip through this guy's weird, crazy couple of days. And this is not a saint. I mean, he's stealing people's wallets and buying suits and guns with it. He checks out at dinner without paying. The bastard. I do think it's a well-shot movie. Some of the flashbacks when they talk about stealing the money, and interesting idea where Mel Gibson goes, hey, those guys don't wear seatbelts. So the next day that arrives, they just ram the car. And of course, they're wearing seatbelts, but those guys aren't, so they go right through the damn windshield. And I just liked, I mean, he's an anti-hero. Maybe that's the thing in the original version. Like maybe the director didn't want him to be this sort of little bit of a fun anti-hero. But I liked it. That's what one of the reasons I liked the movie. Where, yeah, he's a bad guy. Even says, get ready to root for the bad guy. But there's a teeny bit of heart to him, at least. And he's a badass. There's this guy who sold this lady drugs and she'd OD'd. So he gets pissed at the guy and rips his damn nose ring out. There's pieces of humor that made me laugh, like David Paymer, who keeps saying, you're not going to fucking kill me, are you? Lucy Liu as a mistress who beats the fuck out of Gregg Henry as that's part of her job. Just to her pain is pleasure. Maria Bello as sort of the nice girl that got away from Mel Gibson. They strike up a romance again, and I thought they worked well together. I thought the chemistry worked well. I like Mel Gibson as an actor. Yes, he's made some big flaws in the past, and that's an understatement. I don't condone what he did, but the guy has apologized profusely. He's apologized time and time again. Either you forgive him or you don't, and maybe I'm not the right guy because I was in the race he was talking about, but when I look at people like Whoopi Goldberg and Danny Glover and all these guys saying, no, Mel Gibson's not racist, I don't know. If they're okay with it, why should I not be okay with it? And then, yeah, I do like Mel Gibson as an actor. I do think he does a good job in this. A really good job. This would be in my top 5 favorite characters. I don't know about top 5 favorite films, but definitely top 5 favorite characters that Mel Gibson's played of Porter. I really liked it. And I like the usage of Dean Martin music throughout, whether at the end of the film or, throughout it. Ain't that a tick in the head? Well, that's from the trailer, but... And that was an entertaining trailer, too. And also nice to see these character actors. You get William from Rolling Thunder. You got James Coburn. When he shoots his bags and Chris Christopherson's asking if he's okay, and Coburn goes, yeah, he's just killing my alligator babes and putting holes in my suits. That's mean. That's just mean, man. I liked that. Also, Bill Duke as one of these dirty cops. So it was just enjoyable to see all the shit Mel Gibson had to deal with, whether it be this Lucy Liu mistress and her thugs and gang, or the dirty cops like Bill Duke, or the people that William Devane and all these guys work for. Again, it's not an action film. It's more of a... crime with a little bit of action, a little bit of humor, like all mixed in together. You do have some nice action bits. You get a nice explosion at the end. You get a good little action scene where he uses a character as a shield, and that guy's getting shot to shit as he's saving himself. And it's a bad guy he's using it as a shield. It shoots people amongst this van. Certain people will quickly beat up. John Glover, who was in Gremlins 2, In the Mouth of Madness, a bit part in Batman and Robin. He's the guy who worked with Poison Ivy when she became Poison Ivy. He's in this. And just a lot of moments of the character being cool. Spoiler alert. Like when he blows up John Glover's car after he cuts some stuff and he throws a cigarette. Or how he frames the dirty cops so that they get arrested. The way he takes out these Asian guys in this van. He sneaks around and shoots them through both of the windshields. And I know the director was not a big fan of the sense of humor, but I enjoyed it. I mean, the way it ends where he fucks over everybody. It's spoilers. He fucks over everybody and he sets this trap to fuck up Chris Christopherson and the other bad guys. And even the same line where him and Maria Bello go off and he's like, well, we made a deal. If she stopped hooking, I'd stop shooting people. I don't know. Maybe we're aiming too high. The reason I liked the film is I thought it went at a good pace. I liked the music choices, like Dean Martin. I thought it fit for the type of film it was being. It was cool to see all these people like Gregg Henry and Bill Duke and Chris Christopherson, who again is not even in the original cut of this, or Lucy Liu, all these people in there. It was cool to see that. Has little bits of action, a lot of bits of Mel Gibson being a badass with the attitude. He pulls off well. He does seem like that would fit in a movie from back in the day in the 30s, 40s, so kind of tough guy roles. I should have looked up like all the controversy behind it. See, I don't know if they'll pull up quick enough. I mean, I think this film did okay business. It must have been the fact they put some money into doing the other cut of the film. And again, I know most prefer that cut, but I prefer this cut a lot more. That cut, I believe, is called Payback, the straight up edition. I know I don't know why they didn't just bundle. I don't know if they bundled them up. I think you had to buy them separately. Could be wrong on that. I mean, the director would go on to direct, let's see, Brian Helgeland, A Knight's Tale, The Order, but that's not the Van Damme one. That's the Heath Ledger one. 42, that's the biopic on Jackie Robinson. And he wrote it as well. It was his first directing job. Director was replaced by the production designer who reshot 30% of the film. The intent was to make Mel Gibson's character accessible. Controversial scene between two characters involving spousal abuse was excised. More plot elements were added to the third act. A new opening scene, voiceover track was added. Chris Christopherson had a role in it. In the director's cut, straight up, Chris Christopherson's character was a female, and we only heard the voice. Has an entirely different, ambiguous ending where Mel Gibson is seriously wounded in a train station shootout, driven off by Maria Bello's character. And there is no explosion. There is no torture scene where he's getting each of his toes fucked up. At least that, like, a good chunk of the climax is completely different. Yeah, it's a train scene. There's a little bit of a shootout. I just felt flat and made me go, that's it? Really, that's it? I know people are always for the artistic, the director's choice. I can understand that. But I do think there are times where the fucking studio is right. I'm sorry, I'm not going to sit here and say they're 100% wrong. A lot of times they're wrong, but sometimes they're right. Sometimes, I'm sorry, the director doesn't know best. That's just my opinion. Cyborg, go watch the director's cut. Sucks. Go watch the theatrical cut that Van Damme and Sheldon Lettich and such had a hand in. In my opinion, much better movie. I liked the studio cut, more than the director's cut. I mean, I'm sorry. That's why I don't give a shit about Zack Snyder's Justice League. Sometimes the director ain't all that. It's not the first or last time we got a director's cut. So I know people are like, oh, there's going to be a whole field of director's cuts. There's been director's cuts or extended cuts back from the extended cut in the Abyss and Aliens on like Laserdisc. It's not the first time there's been a director's cut. How about hashtag release the train cut? Fantastic Four 2015. Let's release the original cut of that. I'll go see that. More than fucking Justice League, but that's a different story. Anyway. Payback, like I said, I get what the director was trying to do. People may be mad that the studio made it more accessible. But I guess the studio were thinking of people like me. That, yes, I enjoy the little bits of humor. I enjoy liking the character a little bit more. I enjoyed the more explosive ending. I enjoyed the less ambiguous ending. Yes, sometimes when I want cake, I want to eat the cake. Sometimes if you tell me I'm going to get pie, I want some pie. Hopefully some poontang pie. But, yeah, it's not everyone's cup of tea. But yeah, I do have fun with Mel Gibson's character, his anti-hero type of character. And yeah, I enjoy Payback. I still enjoy the film. Like, I'm not sure about the bleached look. Granted, it gives a little bit of a different look compared to other films in that era. I don't know, maybe that just reminds me too much of a lot of the filtered movies nowadays. Since so many goddamn movies, they filter the shit out of the color scheme. Would this movie have worked black and white? I just would have preferred looking like a normal movie. I mean, other than that, I don't really have many issues with it. I really don't. Could have used more action? Sure, I'm an action junkie. I would not have minded more action. Other than that, yeah, I've always enjoyed the movie ever since I saw it back in the day on, might have been on VHS when I saw it back in the day. Yeah, it probably was. Maybe. It was on DVD. I can't remember. But yeah. Either way, thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you in the next video. Later.